Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome everyone to another exciting episode of Pinned the Writer's Utopia. Listen, tonight I am super excited. I'm not even gonna lie, y'all. I'm gonna probably say this almost every week. This is one of my favorite people. Yes, because I have some of my favorite people lined up to come and chat with us tonight and throughout this series. So, without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce to you to the book boss lady, baby, Miss Melanie Bonita. Come on in, my friend. Yes, there she is. How are you, dear?
Hello, hello, hello. I am blessed by the best. How are you?
I am fantastic. Listen, I have been so excited about our upcoming chat because you are always full of nuggets of wisdom. And let me tell you, because I was so excited to just call her the book boss lady, I forgot to tell y'all, she is a number one best-selling author. Listen, she's a veteran and she is a fantastic mentor for people who are looking to get their book projects done. And I'm gonna even call her the co-author guru. Okay, she's the co-author project guru. All right, but she look at her. She's like, what? Yes, yes, you are. But anyway, I'm so excited to have you tonight. So let's get on into it. You are an author of several different projects, each one that you have placed into what you call the Daily Dose series. And I love it because literally every series addresses something else, but it gives you your daily dose of inspiration for each one of those categories. So tell us a little bit about the Daily Dose series.
Yes, well, the Daily Dose series was created to inspire and encourage others. And so the Daily Dose series are the first three are 90-day daily devotionals. And so they have different subtopics. So if you've ever heard of or ever read Chicken Soup for the Soul, you know how they have Chicken Soup for the Soul for dog lovers or cat lovers or
Yes.
different areas. And so I have a daily dose of divine inspiration for mothers. Then I have a daily dose of direction for women in business. Actually, they're right behind me. Normally you can see behind my head, but I'm gonna grab
Oh
them
yeah,
real
I see him up there on the shelf. Yes.
Yeah, so this is the purple one in the daily dose of direction for women in business. Then we also have the newly released daily dose of declarations, which is actually a 365-day daily devotional. So that's the first 365-day daily devotional in the daily dose series. And we'll have daily dose of victory for veterans being released this year on Veterans Day. And then we have a daily dose of Direction for Women in Business Volume 2 coming out in March on International Women's Day in 2022, and daily dose of holistic health and healing. So those are the upcoming ones. But
I was
God has
about to
given me
say.
100 books. So I have a lot of books to get done while we are here. Amen.
Amen. And I have had the distinct pleasure to be a part of at least two of the Daily Dose series, which was amazing. So tell us a little bit about what out of most people would look to write a book. They never think co-author projects. What made you take your Daily Dose series and turn those into a co-author project?
It was just actually God. God told me when I did the first one, which is the Mother's Book, Daily Dose of Divine Inspiration for Mothers. That was my first book collaboration project. Because my first two books, Daily Dose of Determination and Daily Dose of Decisions, he had me write myself. But
Okay.
when the Mother's Book, he said clearly to me, you don't know everything there is to know about being a mother. And I don't think anybody does.
No.
Right. And it's like, you had one child. What about, sibling rivalry? What about, all these other, I never raised a boy, which is very different apparently from raising a girl. So
Yeah.
he told me to invite other mothers into that project. And that's where the series of having book collaboration projects began. And the same thing with the Women in Business book. You don't know everything there is to know about running a business. Invite
No.
people, let them share their inspiration and how they can encourage and inspire others.
Absolutely. And that makes total sense. I love how you said that you don't know everything about being a mother. I don't think anybody does, Mel. I really don't think it's an everyday learning experience. No matter how old your child is, I promise you, you're gonna learn something new every day in parenting for sure.
Yes, I totally agree.
Now, listening to all of the different titles, like you rattled off several more that you have coming. Where is some of your inspiration coming from? I know that you pray a lot. Is it divinely given to you through prayer? Is it because you're looking and seeing a need? What exactly gives you the inspiration to even bring about these specific topics in the daily dose?
I would say it's actually a combination of both. In my prayer time, God brings me awareness of what the need is. Like that daily dose of declarations book, that was like, God was like, people are depressed, people are discouraged, people need to affirm
Yes.
themselves every day. And so he was showing me and made me more aware. Because I don't watch the news. I call it the CNN continuous negative news. But I think the news is very negative. So I usually
Yes.
don't even know what's going on in the world. And he started showing me all these articles about, I started getting like all these messages about how veterans were committing suicide and how people were, there's a lot of suicidal issues. And now with
Yeah.
after during COVID, it's even more suicides than it was even when the project started. So, God just bringing these things to my awareness. And it's like, okay, I'm always saying, God, you need to do something about this. And he's like, no, you need to do something about this. I put you here on earth so you can be my handiwork and, plant the seeds. And so someone's always planting the seeds, someone's watering the seeds, and then God gets the increase in the glory. So
Yes.
we have to obey him when he gives us the work to do, because faith without works is dead. So I'm
Yes.
always saying, okay, whatever God gives me the instructions, I have to move forward in those things.
Absolutely. It's interesting because what I love about Penned is we talk about the journey as the writer. The journey from the writer's point of view. And even with you saying that, like, daily dose of declaration, and I'm gonna get a little personal, and you can get as personal as you want to. It's whatever what's comfortable for you. But you went to write a book to help people with depression and anxiety and suicide, to encourage them. But in you taking on that project, you also ended up having to go through some things as well. And what I noticed is in my own life, and as I walk out my purpose and my calling, usually when we're given a task or we're given something to do that's going to help others, we too end up going through something in the process because it's something that we have to learn. Let's talk about a little bit about that, because that was a huge taking on. Like, it was a
Mhm.
book to help people with mental health challenges, and then suddenly you find yourself in a predicament. Let's talk about how that played out in the background.
That's interesting that you say that, because I do feel like a lot of times I live my books. And I remember the first book, I had to be even more determined. And the first book was Daily Dose of Determination. And I had a health challenge then. It wasn't as bad as this one, definitely, but it was like because of a car accident. I was just some challenges. And I was like, Lord, what is going on? But I still had to be determined to meet this deadline that God had showed me that I knew I could get this book done in. And so it was
Yeah.
just interesting. So it is interesting that you say that. And so, yes, with this last book, I actually did. I endured some challenges. I was I had some medical issues, and I went into the doctor or the hospital really. And when I went to the emergency room, they was like, "You're not going anywhere." I was like, "What?" They was like, "You pretty much borderline dead. We need
Right.
to admit you and give you an emergency blood transfusion and an emergency surgery." And I was like, "I'm not having a surgery." They just was like, So that was the beginning. And then
Yeah.
after that situation, when I was in the hospital, then I was hit by a car again. This was like my seventh major car accident as I was
Wow.
working on recovering from that. And then I had this mouth surgery on my mouth. And then that was a sort of emergency surgery on my mouth that went wrong. So I couldn't even talk for a period of time. So the whole from August 2019 to like I was working on recovering in 2020, and by the time I recovered, then the pandemic hit. So it was really interesting
Yeah.
on how everything was working out, but I always, believe. I thank God that I'm still here, amen. Even though the doctors told me I
Yes.
was borderline, and even after being rear-ended, with the car accident, I just thank God that through it all, I'm still here, and I do have a revelation and realize that Romans 8:28 says, "All things, not some." All things work together for the good of them that love the Lord, who are called according to his purpose. And we know we called. And so because we called, we know it's all working out.
Right.
And so that's our, even when situations and circumstances come, even when projects may not work out in the time frame that we think it's going to work out, even when I consider that was warfare to me. When
Yeah.
warfare comes, and when you're trying to get people set free, healed, and delivered from depression. And I had several other co-authors say, you know what, during the book, while they were writing it, they had different situations where depression came, and I was just like, Lord, what is really going on? I mean, it was like really, really, really interesting. But you know what? It didn't even matter because, again, with God, all things are possible. And we have
Yes.
to know that when you have those type of situations, we have to have faith and we cannot fear. And we still have to continue we may not move forward in that moment, but there's a season and a time that's going to come where you will be able to continue to move forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's the one of the things that, because I was like, wow, when I started hearing, because you and I did get to talk at least once or twice during the whole ordeal. And I was just like, wow, because I put that together. I was like, she's writing a book to help people with their mental health. And now her health is being challenged in the process of getting this project
Yes.
done. I'm
We're,
like,
we're being challenged on so many different ends. I said
yes,
it wasn't just challenged on one end. It had because the one
yes.
situation with the tumors that caused a whole bunch of other health challenges, and then
Yeah.
that's what the doctor was saying. Well, if you don't get the surgery, then it's because it's so large, it could affect your kidneys and affect this and all these other organs. And she
Yeah.
said armor and it was affecting my heart and all this other stuff. And I was like, she said, like I said, I'm surprised you even still here. I'm thinking, looking at this lady, like, are you, and I'm like, it was
And
affecting my
and
skin. I mean, everything.
yeah, and I was gonna say, but you're writing about mental health, but your mental health had to be challenged. Your mental
Mhm.
space and staying positive through the whole ordeal, I'm sure your mental health being challenged in the process. And
I
so,
would say the reason it got challenged probably wasn't the reason that most people would think, because I've had, health challenges. I've been in car accidents before. So I knew if I had the faith to get out the first time, that I could get out again.
yeah,
But I think more so the challenge mentally was more so that some people that were a part of the project, well, one, the project was delayed. So that was a part of the project. There were some issues that came about. There were some issues in the project. And so, when I went in the hospital, some people didn't get their books. And so people were saying they didn't want to be in the book anymore. And then they drug my name through like the dirt
the mud,
and made
yeah,
Pretty much right, and so that because that now that is like hard for me because I don't like being accused of things, doing things that I didn't do, and or vice versa. If I did something I was supposed to do and somebody accused me of not doing it, that's like a major pet peeve
Listen,
for me.
listen, listen, not listen, listen, listen. I understand. No, I totally understand that one. It's like, no, that's not who I am, and you not. My reputation precedes me, and that's not what you about to do to me.
I mean, and so that affected my mental health like horribly. And then the people that's supposed to be helping me to just tell all these lies on me and just really so that really because I'm like you said, that's not who I am. That's not even what's
Yeah.
going on. So I mean the girl that drug my name through the dirt came to the hospital and saw me in the
Oh
hospital.
wow.
And then
Oh
baby, all
wow.
these other people think I was a monster. And when one girl read the message to me that she sent her, I just like started crying. I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? I mean, it was
Yeah.
like really mentally challenging on me. And the fact that I couldn't do anything about it at that time because of my health,
Right.
physical health, it was just like, I can't even address this right now. You know what I
Right.
mean? When you address stuff like that, it will affect your mental health even more. And then, of
Yes.
course, I want to stay the woman of God that I am. And because, and I'm not going to, somebody, people, oh, you should have did this, you should have said this. No. Well, you could sue somebody for slander and for defamation of character. Right
No.
now, I'm working on getting my health in order. And when you're working
Right.
on getting your health in order, like you said, that includes physical health and mental health.
And
So
mental
that
health. Yes.
and mental health. So that was a challenge for me mentally. And like I said, it was delayed more than a year and all this other stuff kind of, and I started having issues with my computer when I started trying to work on it, and all these other issues started happening. And I was like, God, I said, but it's gonna get done. It's gonna get done. So
But
yes,
you,
it was
but I was gonna say, but that's real talk though. Like for all of the writers that are, if this is your first time, writing a book, and if you're in the process of writing the book, right? Know that there are going to be distractions. There are going to be things that are going to try to pull you off course. Like even you saying your computer stopped working. Oh my goodness! Like that is stuff that happens to us writers when we're setting down to write. There is always something that's going to try to come and combat what you're doing or come and distract you from what you're doing, especially as you're becoming more disciplined. When you get more seasoned, some distractions you'll be able to avoid a little bit more than a new writer. So don't be discouraged, is what I'm trying to say. If you're writing your book for the first time and you feel like this is taking forever and it seems like nothing is going right, know that that is part of the process. It happens because then it
and you
boils
have to
down
press through
to,
it. And you have to press
yeah,
through it. You have to trust
yes,
and know that it's going to get done. Don't give up. Don't stop. I know people that put their
yes,
projects on hold and don't stop. And one young lady said that's in the book last night. She said, "I am so grateful that you could have just gave up and said I'm not even after everything happened I'm not even going to finish it." I'm like, no. First of all, it's God's project, so I have
right,
to finish what
right,
God told me to do. I can't just abandon or give up. And that's what some people believe. And that's what some of the people who put my name through slander made people believe that, the project was never going to get done. And so even when you go through challenges as a writer, I don't care if it's writer's block, I don't care whatever it is, know that you cannot quit. You cannot give up.
yes.
And even if it takes longer than you expected, you have to finish the project to the end. And that's the key.
Yes, that is the key. You have to see it
Yeah.
through. Even if it takes
Yeah.
you, Mel can tell you because she was coaching me when I wrote my first. As a matter of fact, she put her foot in my back and said, "T. Lynn, you late. Like you were supposed to have your book project done. Do you remember that?" I called her to
Me. I don't remember those exact words, but it sounds like
listen.
something I would
I
say.
called her to ask her for some books for some of her daily dose series to add to some baskets, some care baskets that we were putting together for breast cancer survivors. And I
Oh,
was
I do
like,
remember now.
yeah,
Yes.
and I was like, I really think your book would be a great encouragement.
I'm like,
And
what's
she was
our
like,
book? Why
oh,
your book
yeah, she was like, T, I love you and I thank you so much for thinking of me. And I'm gonna send you the books, but I need you to know that it's not my book that's supposed to go in these baskets. It's yours. You are and you need to get this done. And I promise you guys, I sat on the phone with her. All I called for was some books to put in a basket. And I sat on that phone for 2 hours with her. And by the time we got off, she made me to commit to when I was gonna have the book done. She made me come up with a working title for it and when I was going to have my book released and potentially where I wanted to have it. All this
That's
in two
right.
hours.
I need a
All
release
I
date. I
called
need a
for
release date before we get off the phone. I tell people that I just need a release date before we get off the phone. What's the release date? I
was the
just did it.
release date.
No, seriously, people don't understand because you have to have an action step in mind. And like I said, just set a date, a goal to work towards and start. That's just like, I mean, my YouTube coach did that to me. And it was like, God was saying, you do that to people all the time. Why are you surprised? My YouTube
Yeah.
coach was like, keeping you from doing the video tonight or tomorrow. I was like, okay, wait a
Listen.
minute. Same thing. Tonight I did
Yes.
a one-on-one with the girl about how to make money on Clubhouse. And I said, you need to start your room tomorrow. She was like, tomorrow. I said, tomorrow. I said, you need me to co-moderate with you? What we need to do, I need you to set up the invitation right now. And while we
Listen.
were in our session, I made her set up because if we don't take action, well, who knows if you wouldn't
Who
even be doing this
knows?
interview. We had this conversation, but it would be done. You don't know, right?
True that,
So
true that. Because she's right. But Mel is so right, guys. Listen, she made me commit to doing that. And I got my book done. And I did publish my book. I ended up getting it done 6 months later. Um, because I went through all the things we're telling you guys about, the distractions that come along, the things that you have to work through. But I did get it done. I did get it published. It is out and it's great. But she's right though, because had I not written the book was the key to opening the door to some additional opportunities that were in store for me. Had I not written that book, some of these doors that are now open for me might not have been there for me, right? So
that's
I might
right.
not have been here today on doing Pinned, where we're talking about lessons learned as writers and things to encourage you. I'm telling you, the book was the key, and I'm glad that I got it done. But she held me accountable, and that's what I'm saying to you. Get someone to hold you accountable. She held me accountable, y'all, for 6 months, and then she started telling me other stuff. What you think you doing? So what you gonna do it today or tomorrow? When you like, she stayed on me, and I got it done. She's a fantastic coach. And then not only that, but I ended up doing some projects with her. I'm a number one best-selling author. All because I had a wonderful coach that helped
Yeah,
me along the line to stay focused. And that's okay. And what I'm saying is you need accountability. If you can't do it on
right.
your own, this is your first time out of the gate, guys. Get you an accountability partner. It is
Yeah.
imperative. She even said today, she doing the doggone thing, y'all. She's doing the doggone thing, but she still has a coach to hold her
I do.
accountable and
I
to
have
get the
several
job
coaches
done.
actually. I
See?
have a business coach and I have the YouTube coach and I'm getting ready to get a TikTok coach. So if you want to expand and no seriously, because and people used to say all the time, every coach needs a coach, right? So
Yes,
I'm good in
yes.
one area. I may be good in the book writing in the book marketing area, but growing my YouTube channel is new to me. So why am I going to
Yeah.
try to figure that out when I need a coach? Same thing
Yeah.
with 10,000. Oh, you can make 10,000. All you need is 10,000 followers to start making money on TikTok. I don't even know a tick from a top.
How about that one?
Okay.
How about that? Like, I know
So
there's an app that exists, but that's not my
so
lane. So
here's
I
how God
understand.
works. So just so happened, this lady I knew over 15 years ago that was in a network marketing company with me. I happened to be on TikTok because I just joined probably about 2 weeks ago. And I found her, and guess what? She's a TikTok coach. And she helps
Wow.
people make an extra $10,000 a month on TikTok. And so I
Wow.
know, wow, but that's how God will reconnect you, just like you. You were calling me, you were calling me about a basket, but God had other plans. When I got on TikTok, the people on Clubhouse, it's the Clubhouse people, right? They told me, you need to get on TikTok, you need to get on TikTok, you need to be monetized on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. And I'm thinking to myself, I just want to sell some books. Really, seriously.
Right.
I just
You
want
like,
to
I
sell
just want
some
to,
books
right.
because that's what I
Right.
know. And we want to stay what we comfortable with, and we can't always. We have to get out of
Yeah.
our comfort zone sometimes in order to expand, in order to grow. God is telling me, in order to have my millions this year, I have to get out of my comfort zone. I had to start
Yes.
YouTubing. I have to start TikToking, whatever that looks like. I have to start doing all of these videos, which I really aren't fond of doing, but I've been doing them and people like them. So my coach, my business coach, we had a meeting last week. She put a mandate on all of us, in our group coaching session, a 30-day challenge. You need to do a Instagram reel on Instagram every day for 30. Last night I didn't get my reel done till after 11, but I got it done
But you
before
got it
midnight.
done. Yeah,
I
but you
got
got it
it
done.
done. And so that's the thing. We need to make sure our coach, like I said, my coach is keeping me accountable. And if my coach is keeping me accountable, I can keep somebody else accountable in this space. But in
Yes.
other spaces, in the YouTube world or the Instagram world, or what is
You
that?
had to find the TikTok.
Right,
That's where you was at. You
TikTok,
had to
right.
find someone to keep you accountable.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
our time is one always fast when we're having fun. But for those who are writing, since you were such an inspiration to me as well, what is a good nugget of advice that you would like to leave with our viewers tonight that are in the process of writing their product and just need a little bit of help? What would you tell them tonight?
Stay consistent. Stay consistent. Don't stop. Don't put it down. Because when you take a break, sometimes it's harder to start again. So I'll tell people, if they're working in a book, don't make it hard. Don't overcomplicate it. If you just got to write a page a day, a page a
Yeah.
day, a page a day, a page a day. Don't think you have to write 20 pages a day. Don't think or record it. There's so many different techniques and different things
Yes.
do to get the book done. You could get a ghostwriter, but the key is you think all of those people, those high profile people, write their own books?
No,
No.
they don't. Not
No,
all of them.
right. Some may, but most of them, they get a ghostwriter to help share their story. And so there's so many ways to skin a cat, as they used to say. And so my advice is stay consistent. Don't stop, because once you stop, it's hard to start again. Press through the
Yes.
pain. Press through the pain to get to the promise. The promise is your baby, is your book. And so
Yes.
you have to press through in order to get to the end result. That's what you need to do, is press through that and say, you know what? This is the end result. This is what I have to get to, and I will not stop till I do. Just like with YouTube, I'm not going to stop until I get my minimum of 1,000 subscribers. Seriously.
No, I'm laughing because I know that you are so serious right now. You're like, listen, it's not a game to me. I'm gonna get it done.
It's really not. It's not an option. And releasing your book is not an option
It's
because
not an
somebody
option.
needs what you have. Somebody's
Yes.
life is at stake. When I wrote my first book, Daily Dose of Determination, Did I know that this little, it's not that big, little 90-day daily devotional, did I know that someone was going to tell me that it saved their marriage? I did not know that. Did I know that someone told me it kept them out of a depression? Did I know that this book was going to tell me that it helped somebody start their business and help somebody write their
Yes.
book? All these testimonies that people have given me because I was obedient. So you don't know
Yes.
at the end of your book. You
Mm-hmm.
don't know what life is going to be saved as a result of you writing your book. So failure is not an option. Stopping
Nope.
and quitting is not an option. So that's what I would say to someone is to make sure they press through the pain to get to the promise so that they can get it done.
Love it. Press to the promise. That's the word. That's the word of encouragement tonight for all of our viewers that are watching, that are working on your book and feel like, am I ever going to get it done? Keep pressing. There is a
Yeah.
blessing in releasing the blessing, because it's a blessing that you're releasing to others. Someone needs to hear your story. Keep pressing.
Yes.
Keep pressing. Listen,
Yes.
I have had a phenomenal time. I always enjoy talking to you. I swear I do, because it's fun and you're such a ball of inspiration for sure. So I thank you so much for joining me. Listen, if you guys want to connect with Melanie, you can always do so at www.melaniebonita.com. She's also on Instagram as Melanie B Speaks. Make sure you reach out, follow her, see what's going on. Believe me, this lady always has something going on. And for those of you who may not have a whole book in you, but you got a little bitty chapter or something in you, she does co-author projects all the time. It's a great way to get your foot in the publishing world by doing co-author project, jumping in and doing a project with the team where you're all coming together to get it done. So you don't have to pull it alone. If you don't have a full book, that's okay. If you got a chapter of inspiration, look out for those co-author projects, because I promise you that's a great way to get your foot in the door of publishing books, okay? Or getting your books and your
All
story
right.
published. All right? Well,
Yes.
anyway,
Yes.
that's a wrap for us. It's been a phenomenal night. Make sure you follow and keep up with Melanie. She's doing some great things. Remember, guys, the key to writing is simply writing. So make sure you do that. Put your pen to your paper, or get on and put your type to your screen, whichever way you want to say it. But get it done, baby. Get it done. It's all
That's
right.
right.
We thank you
It
guys for
is
joining
time.
us. Remember
Yes.
to go on and subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell, right? So you get notified when we go live, because I promise you, for the next several weeks, I have some amazing people, and they are some of my favorite people. You don't want to miss it, okay? Because they're all bringing different aspects of this journey of writing. But anyway, I'm Lynn Tate. Thank you for joining. This has been Pen, the Writer's Utopia. You all have a great night, and I will see you. Wait a minute before I go. Nope, not going to go yet. Make sure you tune in next week, because I have author and business writer Ayanna Thomas joining us. Ayanna Thomas, she's full of some great nuggets, and like I said, she's a business writer and she's an author. Make sure you tune in next week at 8 p.m. Now I'll say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Have a great one.
See you later. Thank you for